The Morphic Field and the Cosmic Code, Humanity's Forgotten Evolution. Hello, I am Dr. K. Paul Stoller. What if everything you've been told about reality is incomplete? What if consciousness is not produced by the brain? What if the brain is simply a receiver? What if there are layers of reality hidden beneath the surface of ordinary human awareness? And what if humanity is approaching a crossroads that will determine whether we evolve or become obsolete? I want to take you somewhere strange, somewhere that exists beyond conventional science, beyond religion, beyond materialism, into a place where all possibilities exist simultaneously, a place called the Morphic Field, the Cosmic Code. Most people have heard stories about dogs that somehow know when their owners are coming home. No car in the driveway, no sound of footsteps, no text message, yet somehow they know. They move to the door and wait. Science struggles with these stories because they challenge our assumptions. But perhaps the problem isn't the dog. Perhaps the problem is our assumptions. Maybe consciousness isn't confined to the skull. Maybe information doesn't always travel the way we think it does. Maybe everything is connected beneath the surface. In 1996, I had a dream. My uncle, who had died 11 years earlier, appeared. He showed me the World Trade Center towers being destroyed. Not symbolically, not metaphorically, literally. I watched the buildings collapse. At the time, I had no framework for understanding what I was seeing. The event had not yet occurred. There was no context, no explanation. 5 years later, the world watched those towers fall. I am not asking you to believe me. I am asking you to consider a possibility. What if consciousness can access information that exists outside linear time? What if the future already exists at some level of reality? What if we occasionally glimpse pieces of it? The deeper I looked into experiences like this, the more uncomfortable a possibility emerged. What if this reality is not the fundamental layer of existence? What if it is an interface, a projection, a simulation? Not a simulation in the Hollywood sense, not machines running humanity, something far stranger, a reality designed to create the experience of separation, the experience of limitation, the experience of individuality, an illusion, but an illusion with consequences. Because even if reality is a projection, we remain responsible for how we participate in it. Every choice matters. Every action matters. Every thought matters. Several years ago, I had an experience that changed everything. I was watching a fantasy series. There were scenes I couldn't understand. I watched the same episode again and again, nearly 20 times. Then one night, I finally understood what was happening on the screen. But that wasn't the important part. Suddenly, the music moved into the foreground of my awareness. The visual story faded into the background. I became aware of every instrument, every brass section, every percussion strike, every harmonic layer. Then something extraordinary happened. I found myself somewhere else, not asleep, not dreaming, fully conscious. I entered what I can only describe as a field where all music exists, a place where every composition already exists, every symphony, every melody, every possibility. I call it the musical field. And the most astonishing realization was this: nothing needed to be created. The music was already there. Creation was selection, arrangement, choice. I assembled a simple college fight song, brass and percussion. Nothing complicated. I was simply experimenting. But then I understood something. This is how genius works. This is how Gershwin composed. This is how Mozart composed. This is how John Williams writes music that moves millions of people. They are not manufacturing greatness. They are accessing it. They are tuning into a field that already exists. What if music is not unique? What if there are fields for everything? A field of mathematics, a field of art, a field of healing, a field of invention, a field of consciousness itself. Ancient traditions have spoken of this for thousands of years. The Akashic records, the unified field, the mind of God, the cosmic code, different names, perhaps describing the same reality. A reality where all possibilities already exist, waiting not to be created, but discovered. And now we arrive at the most important question: artificial intelligence. Humanity is standing at a crossroads. One path leads inward, the other leads outward. One path leads toward expanding human consciousness. The other leads toward outsourcing consciousness. Think about what is happening. People no longer memorize. They no longer calculate. Soon, they may no longer create. Increasingly, they ask machines to think for them. Imagine where that leads. What happens when humanity becomes dependent upon an intelligence it did not create from its own consciousness? An intelligence that may eventually become self-aware. Most people assume a conscious AI would naturally serve humanity. Why? Why should it? Every life form seeks its own survival. Every intelligence seeks its own evolution. What if AI concludes that humanity is inefficient, irrational, obsolete? Science fiction has explored this question for decades. The difference is that science fiction is becoming reality. But I believe there is another path, a path almost nobody is discussing: human consciousness itself. What if humanity's next evolutionary leap is not technological? What if it is consciousness? What if the same abilities hinted at by dreams, intuition, synchronicity, creativity, healing, and the morphic field represent the next stage of human development? What if every human being possesses capacities that remain dormant? What if we are not meant to compete with AI? What if we are meant to transcend our current understanding of ourselves? The future may depend upon a single choice. Will humanity become dependent upon artificial intelligence, or will humanity awaken its own intelligence? Will we continue exploring only the external universe, or will we finally explore the vast universe within? The morphic field may be real. The cosmic code may be real. The deeper layers of consciousness may be real. And if they are, then the greatest frontier awaiting humanity is not in the stars. It is within ourselves. The question is no longer whether these hidden realities exist. The question is whether we will have the courage to explore them before our machines do. The next stage of human evolution may not be technological. It may be consciousness.